Three, two. Good morning. This morning we're going to be discussing rational orthodoxy, which is a description of the attempt of the various church bodies to introduce a sense of proper alignment, orthodoxy. Think orthodontist, the right alignment of teeth, orthopedist, the correct alignment of your bones, orthodoxy, the correct alignment of doctrine, to the war-scarred and war-ravaged European theater. So one of the features of this is what is called compulsory objectification, which means that we move away from the domain of the concern of subjectivity, the inner workings of the devotio moderna, and focus instead on externals. So one will see the coin struck by Louis XIII, which is troops standing at attention in perfect formation, or Bentham's panopticon, which was a brilliant way of talking about having one perspective that could see all others. This was used in the design of a prison. But the point was you could have a guard in the guardhouse and could see all the representations of persons in the prison. So there's a sense in which the key teachings of the Calvin tradition endured, and the key teachings of the Luther tradition in the Formula of Concord, and the key teachings of the Church of Rome in their opposition to the Jansenists, who were arguing for a kind of predestination. Pascal was talking about the role of fate in faith. You can see that the lines were hardening. Remember that there was real insistence at Trent upon the role of the free will, which Luther denied. So you get Luther and Calvin and their traditions, Lutheranism and Calvinism, which are distinct, emphasizing with even greater force the idea of predestination, and the position of Concord becomes one of essentially double predestination, that from the beginning the elect and the reprobate are destined to their end. This is not what Calvin said. It's not even what Luther said, but it is the way in which the hardening of the lines, the clarifying of the lines occur. Now I said, and this is the last point, that there is a kind of disappearance of the subject. That's only partially true. It's not the question of subjectivity now. It's the question of the status of the individual en route to salvation. So now the question is the process of salvation, the ordo saludo, becomes objectified, and you can actually measure where you are in that, which means that quite subtly the subject has become the center. So you have a kind of, if you will, meology as opposed to theology, in which the center is the ruling activity of God. It's a fascinating time period, which was an attempt to stabilize a completely savaged civilization. Have a good discussion. Thanks.